Ricken Financial presents Kickin with the Rickens, redefining retirement. Gerry, Ricken, and Heidi Ricken Provost want to help you reach the retirement you deserve. Let's build a strategy that gives you the confidence while meeting your financial wants and needs. Meet the team at rickenfinancial.com. Now, Kickin with the Rickens.
Welcome back to Kickin with the Rickens, redefining retirement. Rickenfinancial.com to meet the team and see all the services they have to offer. My name is Mark Owens, Gerry Ricken, Heidi Ricken Provost. How are y'all doing?
Mark, doing great. How about you, buddy?
Pretty good.
Gerry, everything good? Feeling good?
Everything is fabulous.
Where are you, like, just overall health-wise? Because if you ask me, I'm a glass half full guy, right? I've always got back problems. I've got bad eyes, but I'm always trying to shoot for 100%. What about you, Gerry? Where are you?
Well, I am not a glass half full. I'm a glass full. So I'm the eternal optimist, and everything's great.
How about you, Heidi? How you feeling?
I actually had a psoriasis check-in with my dermatologist this morning, and I can't wait to bring home the prescription she wrote me because my husband's going to think it was 100% made up. And it's going to be awesome. But she actually told me I need to stop wearing shoes that touch my ankles. So she wrote me a prescription to buy new shoes.
Oh, my gosh.
Because I was like, I'm going to go home and tell my husband I need new shoes. And he's going to be like, yeah, right. Wear what you own. But all of my summer sandals have like a little thing around the ankle. And she was like, no, girl, you need like shoes that don't touch your ankle for your psoriasis. So, hey, made it happen. I got a prescription to shop.
Just in time for Prime Day.
Oh, my God.
Telling my wife I've got a little bit of a skin rash on my elbow, and the only cure is a golf trip with the boys over the weekend. I mean, my doctor said that.
Yeah.
Doctor knows best.
Thank you. That's why I pay
Doctor knows best.
my copay. So before we get into a really good conversation about retirement planning coming up here, we can't ignore the headlines. They've been heavy. Look, we knew this election was going to be ugly, and the past couple of weeks have proven just that. And we've had a lot of time to digest the situations. But I think the question to you, Gerry and Heidi, for the families that you serve, at the end of the day, you're worried about protecting assets and building retirement income. What are you telling them, or what are they hearing from you, and what are you telling them about their future, about their money?
Well, you know what, Mark? The fear is real for a lot of people. Ever since the election season kicked off, which I think has been months ago, people have asked us about it, and they're concerned. They're genuinely concerned about what happens in an election year, especially this election, because it is so volatile and so polarizing. But what we try to do is allay those fears, because we're afraid of what's happening too.
I mean, our job is to help protect the families we serve, and that means protecting them from market downturns and other risks that will come their way. So if they're concerned about what their money is going to be doing before the election or through the election, that's what we're here for. But also on a human level, it's been really tough for us seeing what's in the news because, I mean, guns are a very polarizing topic. I'm not going to go into the politics of it. But at the end of the day, a man who stood for the candidate that he believed in was killed. And it's been really tough for our family to digest it because we all know that my grandpa is our hero. And he was a firefighter, just like the man who was killed at the Trump rally. And I read the words that his daughter put out on social media that he literally was her hero and pushed her and her mom out of the way. And he literally took a bullet and died for them.
Amazing.
And my grandpa would have done the same, Yeah. And so no matter what side of the aisle we're on, it's really tough knowing that someone who loved their hero and got to do something that they believed in with their hero, at the end of the day has to bury him. That's just really tough to digest. All of us have been talking a lot about grandpa lately because he would have done the same. No matter who you believe in or what you believe in, none of us should have to die because of our beliefs. And that's just,
that's
it's really
the scariest
sad
part of all this.
Well, it's
scary that it's happening in our country and in our world. And we usually don't see it in our country. And so it's been really scary just digesting the fact that people literally are dying because they believe in something.
This is real life. And you, Gerry, you, Heidi, you're both experiencing this just like everybody else is, just like we all are. And for the families you serve, and I think you said it before we got started here, look, our goal is to make sure that we try to eliminate the fears of what's going to happen with their money. There's nothing that we can do about this election. All we can do is vote and support our candidate.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Look, we're all going through this together. But again, at the end of the day, the team at Ricken Financial, they're human beings. When you come to worrying about, what's this election going to do, don't ever be afraid just to reach out to the team and ask the questions. They're going to try to help you with some of those concerns. You can find the team at rickenfinancial.com. That link is in the show notes as well. All right, let's get to it. You mentioned this off the air. You said we want to talk about what a retirement planner is. And this whole time, I thought I knew. I thought it was somebody who just puts a plan together. But there's so much more. There's so many layers to that. So what is a retirement planner, and when exactly do you need one, Heidi?
So the basic guideline for what a retirement planner does, and in particular, what the two of us do as retirement planners, since that's our book of business, and that's what we do on a daily basis, is retirement planning. Retirement planners plan for your future so that you have a tax-efficient retirement, and so that you and your family have all of your needs covered so that A, you can retire one day, and B, once you're retired, all of the risks that will be facing you in your retirement, you have a plan in place so that you can face those risks in the future. So there's a common misconception. We've been talking about this a lot. A lot of people have come to see Gerry and I, and they'll say, hey, I would love your assistance, but I'm like 5 years from retirement. I'm 18 years old. I've been retired for 8 years, and a retirement planner only needs to help you when you're like 6 months to retirement. Or
huge misconception there.
Or my favorite, I'm not ready to retire until January 1st. So can we get together on January 2nd? We just wanted to talk about it because the fact of the matter is, even if you're 4 days old, you can be planning for retirement in the future. So there's no like magic crystal ball for when you need to come see a retirement planner. They fit into every single aspect of your life.
And they should, because your life changes, and as your life changes, your goals change, your financial position changes, your whole makeup changes. So we like to be involved as early as we possibly can, because we believe that it all comes back to that one word, Mark, taxation. Because the earlier we can help people think about taxation in the future, the better off they're going to be in their retirement lives.
So, I mean, just baseline, a retirement planner helps to plan for retirement one day.
In your experience, is there an age where we really need to get serious and start that retirement planning? Or is it a number? What say you? When's the right time to get started?
If you begin, say it's a Sunday afternoon, you're on a nice little Sunday stroll, and Monday morning you begin your first job ever. Sunday afternoon, you should be picking up that phone and calling your retirement planner, because the most important time you can start planning for your retirement is when you start having income coming into you. So, we love working with our clients' kids who are getting ready and starting their careers, because we've been able to help so many people just make the right decisions as they start out and have an income stream to make sure that they're going to be tax advantaged in the future, and that they don't have to have a lot of different worries. But we were having this discussion with a client the other day. Her child is fresh out of school and was saying, I am so excited. I have 6 months of income coming in before I have to start paying back my student loans. Isn't that awesome? I can do whatever I want for 6 months.
You can't.
And she called me and she was like, Heidi, how do I talk to her? Can you talk to her since you're closer in age to her? Maybe she'll listen to you and not me. And I said, okay. But, then Gerry and I started talking about it. If you had 6 months to do whatever you wanted with your money, and then magically at the end of 6 months, you're supposed to have a budget in place and a plan for
change your spending habits.
Yeah. A plan for paying off your enormous debt and changing your spending habits. That's not going to happen overnight in 6 months. We need to plan for it so that 6 months from now, you're ready to go. And you already have structure in place.
Right. And how to pay off the student debt.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
Student loans is a huge problem in this country. And we, have ideas on how we can eliminate that as well by paying those off early.
The planning it can begin before you have your own stream of income, but it should definitely begin by the point in time that you have your own stream of income coming in.
Regardless of where you are in your life, one of the things that we have a summer intern this summer, Catherine, and she is actually going to use her earned income and open a Roth IRA this year.
Nice.
and she's in college. So that's a wonderful thing. That's going to build her up for the future so that when she does retire, she'll be able to use some of the money that she earned here in retirement tax-free.
If only she knew some people in her summer internship that could help her and educate her.
I know,
right?
If there was just people. I want to go back to something you had mentioned that like there's no bad time to start retirement planning, but it's something that we say often here that, we want to build upon your gains. We want to build upon all the work you've done. So let's say there's an adult that's 55 years old. What about the 25-year-old, the 30-year-old that's just getting into their job? Are there still as many options and opportunities for somebody that's 30 years old for an adult that's 55?
We can't do the same thing, but what we can do is help them plan for the future, no matter what point in time in life that you're at. But, Dad just mentioned it. If you're married, say you're 35 years old, you're married, you have a mortgage, and you have daycare expenses because you have children around. You probably don't have enough life insurance, need to be looking at that because that also factors into the future. If you or your spouse want to retire one day and something happens to one of the two of you, you need to make sure that A, your mortgage is covered, B, your other expenses on a yearly basis are covered, that whoever
your income is replaced.
Whoever passes away, that your income is replaced and that your family is going to be set up for a successful financial future. You need to have a plan no matter what stage in life you're in. But we do find a lot of times those people in that sweet spot, they think that having whatever the coverage from work is enough for their life insurance. And it simply doesn't even begin to cover the need for their family for the future.
Yeah, when you have 2 times or 3 times your salary, guess how long that's going to last? 2 or 3 years to replace your income. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to be that short-sighted and not forecast what's going to happen or what could potentially happen to any of us at any point in time.
Let's just break down like what a retirement planner does at whatever stage in life that you're in. You just mentioned that you're in your working years, you're in that sweet spot there. We're going to make sure that you have enough life insurance coverage for your family, but we can also help you plan for the taxation for the future. So are you self-employed? If you are, you probably don't. If you are self-employed, you don't have a 401k option.
That's right.
So you don't know how to save for the future, and the onus is on you to figure out how to save. There are plenty of options available. Some of them are income limiting, like developing your own Roth IRA, but there are also, benefits. You can do a tax-free retirement plan that can cover the basis for needing that life insurance and creating an income stream in the future that's tax-free. So, that's what you can do when you're in your working years like that.
Yeah, and if you're a W-2 employee, which most of America are W-2 employees, and you have a 401k that your employer matches, please don't let money sit on the table. Take advantage of that match. Take advantage of that match. And if there's a Roth option, please use the Roth option because we've been duped into when 401ks came out, there wasn't a Roth option. And we said, the government said, hey, you're going to save on taxes now when you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s. But when you're in your 60s, 70s, 80s, you'll be paying the piper and paying taxes a lot more in retirement. And people say, well, in the future, my tax rate is going to go down. Does anybody think taxes are going to go down in the future? No. There's a
Crickets.
big no. There's a big no. And think about what the repercussions of your actions are. Because we don't want you to be disadvantaged and we want you to be educated. And education is the biggest key in anything we do in retirement planning or planning in general. Just to be educated, make informed decisions is the most important thing you can do.
And if you think about this too, so you're in your working years, you're still in that stage in life where the income's coming in, you're covering your expenses, you have your emergency savings covered, your financial future is covered with what you're putting away. And you think, like most Americans, most people don't hold the exact same job for their entire career anymore. So you think it's time to make a change and you're worth more. So you move careers or to just a different employer. That's another point in time that a retirement planner can step in and help you make sure that, whatever you have saved at that point in time is meeting your risk and reward analysis because, options are truly limited when you're in those 401k plans. So you might be able to roll it over into an IRA to protect your family better for the future. So, when you're making career changes, that's another point in time that a retirement planner can step in and really help you out.
It opens up all of your options for investing that money that you had at your previous employer instead of just rolling it into the next 401k that has the limited options that Heidi spoke about, which is a limited target funds or mutual funds. it allows you to do a lot more with your money and really focus on and meet the retirement risk or the personal risk that you and your family want to take.
But then say you're on the precipice of retirement. Well, what does a retirement planner do then? They're going to make sure as you're climbing up that mountain to retirement and you're so close to the peak, you don't want something devastating to happen to your portfolio right before retirement because you're not going to have the wealth of time to recoup it. So a retirement planner is going to step in and make sure that you have the protections in place that you need for you and your family moving into retirement to have the safety and protections so that your portfolio is not devastated on the threshold of retirement.
We've met so many people, Mark, 2007-8 when the market cratered. We had people that were in target funds and all of a sudden they lost 60% in their 401k. Then they came to see us and said, oh my gosh, what can we do? There's not a lot we can do after the fact, but putting those belt and suspenders in and putting the approach in that meets your risk tolerance beforehand is key. That's key.
And then you're ready to retire. Okay, what are you going to do with your time? Have you thought about that?
Because a lot of people don't think about that. They just say, hey, I'm going to retire. Well, what are you going to do?
Be retired.
Well, exactly. What are you going to do with your time? How are you going to cover your expenses? You know, there are so many things you need to plan for when you retire. That's when a retirement planner steps in and they're going to help you figure out that purpose plan. What are you going to do on a day-to-day basis? And how is the income going to come in? Because guess what happens when you retire? You no longer have a paycheck.
And you probably tend to spend a little bit more. We've seen a lot with a lot of people, you know, say, I have a hobby. Now I can spend more on my hobby. And they do spend more on their hobby. And all of a sudden it's like, whoa, you're blowing our budget. You know, so.
Yeah.
Or think about it. Okay, what day of the week, Mark, do you go out to eat the most?
Friday or Saturday nights.
Yeah, every single day in retirement is Saturday because you're not working on a Saturday. So, you know, it'll be a couple months into retirement. We just had this conversation with someone the other day. They're like, okay, my spouse now has the parent lock on Amazon Prime because they have too much time on their hands and they're just priming everything.
Yes. Yes.
Or I didn't realize because my spouse couldn't get away for lunch every single day when they were working. I didn't realize how expensive going out to lunch was because she's going out to lunch every single day with her friends and this is adding up.
Yeah.
So it's funny how, you know, when you have the wealth of time, that usually means you're going to be spending some money with that wealth of time as well.
Those mimosa lunches, those don't have to be held for Sundays anymore. You can start doing those on a Tuesday if you want to.
On a Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
So as we're having this conversation about the importance of having a retirement planner, sure, you know, in your 20s and 30s, newly married, kids, daycare, preparing for retirement, into retirement. All right, Heidi, throw a loophole for you. What if I'm just born? I don't even have a paycheck yet. Should I start retirement planning then?
You know what? The crazy thing is there are plans available for your kids, your grandkids, who don't have their own stream of income in the future. A lot of people save in 529s.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with those. Those are a tax-free tool if they're utilized for educational purposes.
But they're not the only option, are they, Heidi?
Exactly. They're not the only option out there. Say you have a brilliant child who gets a full ride to school and they had their 529 was continuing to grow and you never need to utilize it for education, or they don't go to college, whatever the case may be. A 529 is not the only tax-free option for saving for the future. So we actually have assisted some of our clients in helping their kids and their grandkids to save for the future in an investment vehicle that can be accessed at any point in time in their lives tax-free. And it doesn't have to be spent on educational costs. It can be, but it can also be there when they're 25 and they want to put a down payment on a home, or, you know, they need a new car because it craps out on them when they're 18 years old away at school, whatever the case may be. There are other options available out there that can satisfy that tax-free requirement that you might have for income in the future. That's not just a 529. So we can help at any age.
I really thought I was just going to throw you for one right there. And I'm like, yeah, what if you're a kid? Heidi's like, oh, if you are a kid, yeah, I do have a plan for you. It's what we do. All right, that's really good information. And of course, if you ever need more, rickenfinancial.com. But I think my last question is, Heidi, can a retirement planner require me to go buy new shoes for my health and well-being?
Mark, take a look at your Facebook. Yes, Jared and I both fully believe that you can afford a new pair of shoes.
I was playing pickleball. Okay. Let me grab that curtain and
I saw that.
Peel it all the way back. We played pickleball here at work. I had tennis shoes on. Our buddy Jared, who is a fashionista, this man knows everything about style. He called me out on my tennis shoes. They're Mizuno tennis shoes. Boy, you thought I would have punched him in the throat. He got so mad at my shoes.
Mark, let me defend Jared on this. I wear cowboy boots.
Yes, sir.
So I'm not a fashionista. Everybody who knows me knows that's the case. But when I saw those shoes, I had the same thought as Jared.
Done with all of you. We are done with the show.
So yes, I will write a prescription in your financial future that you can buy a new pair of shoes.
Siri, delete contacts for Heidi and Gerry Ricken. Thank you. Well, she does that.
Hey, we love you.
This show up. Thank you. Thank you for the education, the information, and for humbling me when I didn't ask for it. RickenFinancial.com to get more information and to also see all the services they have to offer and to schedule that initial consultation. Let's get out of here. Finish this for me. Every day
is a holiday.
Life is short.
Laugh hard.
This has been Kickin' with the Rickens, redefining retirement. Y'all are a bunch of damn nerds.
Insurance products are offered through the insurance business Ricken Financial LLC. Ricken Financial LLC is also an investment advisory practice that offers products and services through Impact Partnership Wealth LLC, a registered investment advisor. IPW does not offer insurance products. The insurance products offered by Ricken Financial LLC are not subject to investment advisor requirements. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims-paying abilities of the issuing carrier. This podcast is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual situation. Ricken Financial LLC is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during the show shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency. The information and opinions contained herein provided by third parties have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by Ricken Financial LLC.
Please remember that converting an employer plan account to a Roth IRA is a taxable event. Increased taxable income from the Roth IRA conversion may have several consequences. Be sure to consult with a qualified tax advisor before making any decisions regarding your IRA.